मुंबई मेरी जान दिल से हम हमेशा कहते हैं बट दिल अभी भी बॉम्बे में है. Welcoming the star cast of Bambai Meri Jaan as they talk about Bombay and the era of 1960. So welcoming all of you.
Thank you so much.
And as I say, like I was telling you that there's some hidden thing around it. It's like Mumbai बोलते हैं अब. पहले Bombay बोलते थे, and you know that there was some feeling when we used to call Bombay or Bombay for that matter. Do you all miss being called, calling Mumbai as Bombay?
No, I'm fine as long as our series is the same.
What about you all?
Not at all. I mean,
perfectly
it
fine.
feels,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's the same
The love
city,
for
the
the city
same
is
people.
same,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
If you love the city,
Exactly.
you call what you want to.
Yeah.
मुझे तो 5 नाम से मेरे घर वाले बुलाते हैं प्यार में तो
क्या है वो नाम?
सब
घर की बात
घर की बात. अच्छा.
सब कैमरा के सामने.
Talking about this trailer, it's very interesting. It takes you back to an era which was the most talked about. It talks about gangster vibes. It talks about the entire scenes which would have had happened over those years and all. When you were working on this one, did you go through those episodes, chapters, meeting those people from that era who could like talk about this one?
No, I didn't meet anyone from that era. But the seed of the entire story came from Hussain Zaidi, who is an absolutely renowned journalist whose body of work is there for everyone to see. So there was a lot of research work that was done in terms of the world creation of it. I think the best examples that we reference a lot of films, of Hindi films of those times. And because I personally have a bit of a issue when we do period pieces today, is that it just feels too dated. I mean, there's a difference between feeling, period and dated. Also, the performances start be attuned in a way where we feel that, oh, it's a period thing, there's some special acting that needs to come in. Whereas you look at the films, besides the technology of it, it all feels normal of the 60s and 70s. So that was the kind of research which was done to create the world. And a lot of the material did come from Hussain Zaidi because of his reporting and his experiences with this world. So he came up with this new story which we developed into a full-fledged show.
If you all had to bring back something from that era, and if you were aware about it, some may not be because, they might, of course, some of them are not born in that era, and most of them, I'm sure. But if you had to bring back something from that era, what would that be?
I'm too young for remembering all that. I was born recently.
You mean to Mumbai specifically?
Yes.
Okay.
Specifically to Mumbai and that era. It had a lot of, golden memories for that matter.
Have you seen photographs of bandstand of those times?
Yes.
Have you seen?
Yes.
Yeah, that is nostalgic. I think those kind of scenes that we see in pictures, wish we could recreate that in real life, not in real life. Yeah, it just transports you to some different zone. I won't say it's a better era or a worse era, but it does transport you. A lot of space, a lot of, the atmosphere is completely different. Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah, even Marine Drive Chowpatty was
superb.
Was
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing.
It was very unique.
When I see that songs of the black and whites being sung on the bandstand and all that, my goodness, you just wonder where was this?
I think lesser people and better air quality.
That's something I think we all of us agree on this, I'm sure. Kritika, coming to you, you love playing badass characters. I feel like you get a different vibe out of
I
it.
don't know. This is my first time. I've enjoyed this one immensely, but this is the first time that I've ever got an opportunity to,
Talking about real life.
Oh, real life. Real life also, I'm a very good girl.
Yeah.
I don't do anything bad.
I think KK sir has some different thought to it.
Nobody's backing me up. I am.
They all have become quiet the moment you said, like, I'm a very good girl.
I am. Which is why it's so
She is.
interesting for me.
Trust me.
Avinash, I remember your character more for that Laila Majnu, and I was like, oh, such a Romeo guy and all that. And coming to this completely, where you are literally the gangster, you're giving that vibe, you're acting like that. who did you get inspired? Whom did you get inspired by while playing this one?
Yeah, there's no one specific person that I got inspired by. The script was the inspiration. I read the script. I did sense that this character has a certain kind of aura and presence, which one wanted to create. And how I did that, a wise person told me once that if anyone asks you how you do it, tell them it's talent. So I'll keep it at that.
KK, so I have been reading one of his articles where Avinash said that you were quite busy impressing Nivedita on the sets. Is that true?
Did you? अच्छा, you said that. Impressing Nivedita? हाँ, घर वापस जाना होता है ना इसलिए.
You're busy with that more than the shooting. Is that true?
I hope I acted as well. I don't know. I have no idea.
But coming back to your characters, you play very serious characters, you know, in a lot of movies, and this one being one. What is that one thing which you liked about your role, you know, being a cop, you know, being there for him and, you know, giving him certain dialogues, which is like, you know, karma connection ho raha tha literally wahan par. What did you like about it?
I like the entire thing. There's nothing that I can't dissect a performance like that. It's just that overall, the entire feeling of spending those 50 days, 50 odd days on that set with all these wonderful people was an experience in itself, and those days are gone in my life. So I value that more than the final product, to be very frank. I'm a very dispassionately passionate actor, in the sense that I'm very passionate when I'm working. The moment my last day is over, I'm dispassionate. कौन सा किया मैंने याद नहीं मुझे. I just keep it at that so that I can keep my sanity intact. So for me, that is more important. Spending those 40-50 days, which I'll never get back again in my life. That if that goes very well in the creative way, that is satisfaction for me, and I can vouch for that here.
Siddharth, I had to ask you, though it's a series, I want to know about the music for this one because it's 1960 era. It's going to be quite different.
Right. Yeah, it's all a part of world creation. Everything is a part of creating that world, including the language that is spoken, the dialect in which they speak, the community that it is based in, and so is the music. Right. Of course, it graduates from, because it's spanning over 3 decades, the story. It keeps kind of changing from the 60s to the 70s to the 80s, and it has influences of those times. And also, there's a lot of international influence that was happening in terms of the world of music as well, whether it's with jazz or with blues. So we've experimented with all of that, and it is a large part of the world creation. The music and Salvage Audio Collective, who have scored the music, have done a terrific job of it.
To all of you, do you all believe in bringing back that power play which used to happen in the initial, years? Even now, it does take place, but very differently. It's very obvious, evident. Power play, as in someone who is it's my adda. Ye mera zone hai, yahan par meri territory, and being territorial about certain things, and not going all out.
I think that's a human trait that will happen. I think till the end of time, we like to claim,
and also
things.
There are areas where there are people who actually act like they may not be like the dons and like that, but at the same time, this is my area, so I am the in charge of it.
I think it comes from a sense of identity as well. On a deeper note, I mean, you want to feel connected. I feel very strongly about Goa because I'm, Goan, and I don't like what is happening to Goa for that matter, right? Yeah, there's development and there's progress, and there's pros and cons of everything that happens. So yeah, I think it's the way cinema has represented certain things in life. But I think we all are like that, right? We like to mark our territory and have our own domain, so we feel secure. Probably it comes from a sense of insecurity. I don't know. I mean,
have all of you come outside from Bombay, and when you have come over here, what is that one feeling which has been attached and has been intact forever?
It's the city itself. I think it's such a multifaceted city. Nowhere in the world can you get this kind of a spectrum. So that first, the moment you start living here, only if you live here will you understand the import of what I'm saying. Because otherwise, and when we leave the city, for example, even for a month or so, we yearn to come back because this city is a workaholic city, but in a very good way. And the number of hours, I think the time goes by very fast. So we require at least double the time, not 24 hours in a day. And things like that. Of course, the people here are a live and let live kind of people. They don't really poke their noses unnecessarily. There is a certain balance there as well. नॉक करते ही किचन में या आपके किचन में नहीं घुस जाएंगे इस प्रकार के लोग हैं अरे भाई क्या पकाया आपने आज ऐसा नहीं घुसेंगे which is a bit of a bit overdone fondness but they keep that little balance of being concerned at the same time not coming too much into your space, so all that stuff is there in the city. I think this is a very unique city in the world.
What about you, Shujat?
Yeah, absolutely what Kiki said, and there's a certain pulse. And there's not like one thing or two things or 10 things that you can put your finger on about Mumbai. There is, live and let live, but yet it's welcoming. That that there will be people there at any given time of the day or night there to help you. And it's, it's really vibrant from a cultural point of view. It's the financial capital, so you've got the largest middle class, which resides in Bombay and works, day in, day out. Yeah, it's the maximum city, I would say, in that sense.
Kritika, what's been your thought?
I think everything's covered, but I love the pace of this city. I come from a really small town, so for me it's very different, and it kind of just makes me feel alive. I feel safe in this city. And it's also where my dreams are coming true. So it is literally the city of dreams for me.
Avinash?
I think it's a fertile land. आप बीज बोते हो और यहाँ पे अगर बीज बोआ तो वो फल बन के निकलेगा ही. That's something that you can say about Mumbai. My father came to the city first, and I know out of the stories that when he came in, everything was stolen on the train journey. He had no money. He had to take money from the panwala. He had a job here. And from there on to creating a family here, giving the basics to his entire family, you do realize that it's this city that has given him the opportunity to be able to create all of this. And now living this life here, it has given me the opportunity to create so much more for my future family. So, I mean, we all are indebted to the city, everyone sitting here, which is why Bambai Meri Jaan.
And last question to you, Shujat. There would be comparisons to a lot of movies which has been made in the past, especially Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. Are you ready for that? And do you feel that?
I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Mumbai. I've seen Once Upon a Time in America by Sergio Leone, but I haven't seen Once Upon. So I do not know what the comparison is about. But yes, films or shows which are in the same universe in terms of a perceived notion of whether it's organized crime or it's the underworld or gangsters, are bound to be, compared. I would have. I'm hoping that once it releases and people see it and it's compared to Goodfellas, would be nice to know. And I don't mind being trashed in front of Goodfellas, but yeah, of course, I mean, that would be nice.
Well, that's nice to hear from you and all of you. Thank you so much for your lovely time.
Hi, this is Kay Menon.
Shujat Saudagar here.
I'm Kritika Kamra.
I'm Avinash Tiwari, and you're watching us on Zoom.